everyone, this is PamelaTopjian, and today I want to talk about what happens to our experiences after we pass away, after we die, after this human body is done with this time on Earth, right? What happens to everything we've been through? Not necessarily what happens to our memories, but the experiences. And I didn't have any notes or anything. Usually I will write out just not even an outline, but just a few things that I want to make sure I talk about. But I had posed this question on a couple places on social media, and I'm going to read through some of those. I got some great responses, and I agree with some of them, and others is just a different perspective that's interesting to contemplate. And that's the thing about this is like we don't know and we can't know, right? But I think it's really interesting to contemplate and just ponder and just have an open mind about things to kind of think about what happens. Think about these deeper questions. And I had said on social media that, I don't know if this is more of a spiritual question or more of a philosophical question, maybe. It doesn't matter, right? So, what happens to our experiences after we die? I think that everything that we do on this earth, everything we do while we're here, and everything that happens in our lives while we're here is for the experience, is somewhat of a learning journey, but also just to have the experience. But the reason we have experiences is to learn from them, right? I mean, that's what I think anyway. Well, let me read some of what I got and then I'll talk about it as I go along. So, like I said, a couple different places. Some people have mentioned a religion as if I would know what that means. Like that doesn't really tell me what you think happens to our experiences after we die. And no matter what religion you follow or you believe in, I, in another video, I said, I'm sorry to my mother because I didn't know, that much. I know the basics, I know some of it, I don't know that much. And I'm not sure that because someone tells me they're a certain of a certain belief system, it doesn't mean I know what that means for them. Anyway, some people mentioned judgment day, and reliving your life, going through a life review. So lots of answers like those. Some people say it's not our concern, not for us to know, not that we should care, and just to stay focused on what's happening today. And I can agree to that to some point, but I also think it's important, or I think it's helpful just as a exercise, just to have an open mind and to think about things that are unknowable. I think it's fun. One person says here, your life as whatever your name is, whoever you are, is just one experience among many, thousands, millions, infinite number of many that our consciousness or our soul has been through. Our life will be a memory of sorts, just like you have memories of things that you've done. So it's a memory in the soul that the soul will have. So I think there's like a distinction that the memories we have might be different than the experiences we have. Every experience that we go through, our memory of it is not exactly what happened always. Sometimes we have a perception of what happened, but you can have two people have the exact same life situation. Of course, it can't be exact, right? That's my point. Two different people going through the same thing, growing up in the same household, but have two different experiences of it. So somebody says, I have been in spirituality for nearly 50 years, and frankly, nobody really knows. People do have NDEs, near-death experiences, and mystic experiences, as well as deep meditation and psychedelics. They all point to more beyond here. So I really think just like when you go to bed at night, you surrender into sleep, but you dream and you wake up. I guess one area that kind of bothers me is the concept of no self. I get that the ego goes, but there is an individual consciousness experience, or they're saying, is there an individual conscious experience, or a subtle body, or an energy body? So that's just somebody unsure, which is good. Someone said we should have a new word. We should have a different word than death. Death feels like an expansion. It's a momentary blink into more of who we really are because existence is your fundamental quality. You will always exist. A few people said you can not have an opinion about this. I think you can have an opinion, but but surely it can't be known until we're over there. Even then, I don't know if we know. A couple people mentioned the Akashic records or the Akasha, and that's kind of my belief system as well, that there is a space, and we like to, when we picture it or we describe it like an old library, I don't think it's like a library. I think that's just the human thing that we need to attach to it so we can understand better what it's like. But there is a space where everything is kept because you can look back in different types of hypnosis and hypnotherapy and different types of energy work. You can look back to past lives and see how it might be affecting your life today. Not everybody believes this is true, but I'm talking about my belief. So I think all of our experiences shape us into who we are. And those past life experiences also help shape who we are in this world today. And so there is a space, the Akasha, there's the Akashic records, which is kind of it's kind of like the collective unconscious, right? Or the collective consciousness, however you want to say that, where everything that our souls, our spirits, everything that we are all doing is in there, and it helps to evolve us, humans, whatever. It's helping to evolve us through these experiences, through our lives, and the choices that we make, the decisions that we make, the things that we do. It helps us to learn and heal and grow and evolve. So that's where I kind of fall on where our experiences go when we die. I'm not doing real good at reading them. It's just so much of very similar stuff. I was going to just come on here and read these answers, but so much of it is similar. And some of it has nothing to do really with what I was asking. So one person said, the experiences stay with you from this life, but when you return, it's like opening another file. You took a different path and you had different outcomes. It's like playing a video game where you have many different characters who are unaware of each other, but you as the player can experience all of their different realities and embody all of their different meanings together. So I'm not a video game player, but that's interesting. Someone says, according to Eastern religions, it's a transmigration. Though most religions have a concept of some kind of hell and heaven, your experiences are not carried, but overall tendencies. I personally don't believe in a heaven or hell. I personally don't believe there's a judgment per se. I believe that you will be your own judgment. You will sort of, not necessarily a full life review, but I think you get to see how it went. You get to look back and see some of the impact that you had, both positive and negative, and how your choices and decisions affected yourself and others. And then, that will stick in your consciousness, that will stick in your soul and stay with you whether you come back as a physical being or not. That stays within your soul. So that's kind of what I believe. I found it, I thought it was really interesting to just kind of ask that question, what other people think about it, just to open up the discussion. I said open up the discussion. I wasn't really responding too much. I didn't want to have a discussion there. I wanted people to just tell me how they thought about it. So here's more. I went to another platform. So somebody says, what if our collective memories and experiences and see they're making that they're connecting those two. I kind of think there's a distinction, but maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. What if our collective memories and experiences become the essence of the energetic being we become once we are free of this vessel we occupy while here on Earth? I feel like nothing negative would be part of that. So somebody else said that my spirit is not bound by time, dimension, nor realm. That same person says, because they wrote kind of a lot, so I'm not reading it all. They also say, as far as our experiences, they are always with me. I've experienced so many realms, timelines, and both unspeakable joy and catastrophic experiences. The words escape me sometimes because Earth language is very limited. I totally agree. The language, we don't sometimes have the language. That's why so many different words mean so many different things to different people. We don't really have a good language for this kind of discussion, I don't think. So another person says we have a personality while we're here, and that personality will die. But whatever we've learned that is in alignment with our soul, we take with us to the next incarnation. So somebody else is talking about the DNA holding memories. And energy is a part of the unconscious, the collective unconscious. So I can agree with that. And others mention the collective unconscious, and our memories go there in that space that isn't really a space. Maybe that's the realm. And again, here we are with words. What word is it? It doesn't matter, right? It's a consciousness, right? Consciousness, the soul, the collective consciousness, the collective unconsciousness, the different realms. Does it go somewhere? Does it have to go somewhere? Or does it stay, is our soul just ours? Like the soul that is within PamelaTopjian, is this soul going to go spread out into the collective unconsciousness or the collective consciousness when this person passes away? Does all that I did and learned go into that and scatter around to help the whole, the whole, the all of the whole of the everything? Or does it go with my next incarnation, whether it's human or not, and if that's even possible? So there's so many ways to think about it. Every question, brings more questions, right? And I think that's kind of fun. So I hope that you've enjoyed this. I hope you got something out of this. And I'd really love to hear what you think happens to our experiences when we die. And is the experiences we have different from the memories that we have? And do you want to go deeper into the subject? Do you have any other topics for discussion? Any other kind of spiritual or philosophical questions that we can discuss, that I can discuss here? Feel free to share with me, whether in the comments or more privately. I will put links in the description to where you can reach me. And yeah, thanks so much for being here. And if you've watched to the end and you got anything at all, even just a little entertainment, I hope that you will subscribe and like this video and share it out. Really appreciate it. Appreciate you being here. And as always, I wish you so much peace and love and inner healing.